Saw Peter also picking this one up as he was going to play Yunara into Wukong Orianna.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Wolf. You saw how it went in the LEC.
That the Xayah has, the range problem she often has, doesn't matter. Now this is an interesting tech here to bring the Lulu in to assist the lane phase. It's going to help out a lot into the Rakan. You know, some pro opinions have differed on Yunara's laning phase. Some are saying it's quite strong, some are saying it's very situational, it doesn't really work out too well. I think with the Lulu it should be fine. The key is pre-6, you have to stack your Q before you can use it, so you cannot be interrupted. You have to constantly be auto-attacking, and sometimes that can mess up your wave state. And if you don't have something with you like a Lulu that can help you put that pressure on constantly, it's hard to make sure you can hit those stacks and take the trades you want to. I think Gio should be able to get out of the laning phase just fine. It's the R buttons on the other side I'm a little bit more worried about.
We are ready. Let's hop into the rift for HLE versus Nongshin. Sometimes doesn't care about the lane if he can hit his Qs.
Yeah. You guys could see her abilities. Gideon does have vision control. This barrage not gonna punish potentially.
Yeah, excellently done here by the side of Nongshin. The bait is just perfect, and Calyx sets it up nicely.
Peanut is going to go for this dragon here, despite the fact that scuttle control is not theirs. I think this is wise, as we're going for an all-in.
Yeah, the dive is pretty good, but the flash on in, the last auto gets it done, and he trades onto Lulu.
Is potentially flipping on its head. Zeus is in trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash, and he's going up against the polymorph, so I think he knows he's dead at this point. And there it goes to get the kill over to Jiwoo. Yeah, we'll play here. Some trading as Delight is just walking by, and now Calyx in a bit of trouble. He doesn't have his flash, and yep, 1 QW gets it done.
To continue that prio to set these plays up, Viper will have to flash.
Yeah, just kind of walking into the river, and he's going to get punished for this big time. No flash, no ult, and the kill is given over to Kingen on the Gwen.
So both of his safety tools gone. His ult will come back before his flash, but that's a huge win for Nongshin, who are significantly ahead in gold here in this room.
And I think they're still going to go for it. It is Wukong and okay, it's just everybody. Instead of accept the rumble as they go on in, they just dive on into the mist. The Lulu ult's getting some big value there. Delight able to tank up a bunch of the shots, but that power up on the turret is pretty significant. Now Viper is going to finish him off, as now Lahen's in a bit of trouble, but these turret shots are doing a lot of damage. Will it matter is really the question.
Looks like a flash. They have to be careful.
Eventually, Lahen's, I think, just dies. As, yep, there he goes. Peanut is going to trade, but now they have a lot of position here and pressure in the top lane.
Yeah, but comes back to this play here where Zeus is just caught. This is why they decided to go for that topside play. So they know Gideon's bottom, but Zeus just ends up taking it. I thought Calyx picked up the kill, but it was in fact just Gideon, by the way, as we're looking for this again on the Zeus.
Yeah, I think he's just dead again. He doesn't have his flash. He's just picking up minions and dying. I mean, he's 1 and 4.
See, I guess Yunara's viable in the LCK.
Yeah, must
Gideon
be.
got 3 kills early. As they're going to get this turret, it looks like here. Not really much King can do to stop it. Does get the redemption out, but it still goes down.
Yeah, and now he's getting knocked up, and the exhaust comes through. Shockwave as well. Counter exhaust comes in from Kingen, but he just doesn't have his ult. He doesn't have enough sustained damage. Another redemption going to come down. Tries to get the kill on the Delight, but eventually he just dies.
He will try to skill check you. He's like, oh yeah, no, actually I outplay this if you guys think you can get the turret. Even on this Gwen though, unfortunately, he played it really well, but maybe the better choice would have been to back away. As, oh boy.
Gideon does not have his driver's license.
Yeah, -5 points on the 10. And like, take a look out the window. Calyx is gonna get ulted, he is dead.
Yeah, he tried to rocket belt out of the shockwave. It didn't quite work out. Delight did nearly die, but keyword being nearly
They have
there.
to try to make a heroic play to stop this dragon, Valdez, because Nongshin are just on this so quick. They just do not stop it.
They got vision, and he was like, should I? And then he just elected not to. It'd be fantastic against all the dive. It keeps your Yunara in a much safer place. Calyx, he keeps trying to do that. It's not going to work once again. And now we got Gideon. We got the redemption as well. Lahen's here as well. Will it matter, though? Calyx goes down, and now we got a 1v1 between our AD carries. Viper soon realizing that he does not win that. And now TP's coming in. A bit of a broken team fight as a flash. But it's not going to amount to too much as Equalizer comes down. Gideon is just burning so low. Jiu looking for his angle, though, on the left side. Doing an insane amount of damage with these autos. And HLE immediately just going to try to back away. Maybe looking for the re-engage here as Zeka trying to TP. He's going to get out, actually. Even with the auto coming through, looks like he does live.
Wow.
HLE very carefully get out of there. No TP for Zeus, so maybe trying to burst this one down, but again, this is very difficult, especially because Gio doesn't have summoners. And he's getting flanked on right now. It is going to hit Gio. They try to engage onto Isaiah. And now Zeka on the left is in a bit of trouble, but the rest of the team is just pressing forward. And Unara is the first one to go down. This is exactly what we talked about. They just press their engage buttons, and Unara has no summoners, and they're doing Otacon for some reason. I don't know, Wolf. HLE get a free team fight, and it looks like they'll get a free Otacon too.
Yeah, it's going to reset here for a second, so will be annoying, but it should eventually go down. TP here for Kingen. Zeus is just going to take the walk over. And that TP angle not great here for Kingen, but here comes the Calyx flank.
Yeah, trying to go in once again. The engage from Delight is excellent. And the Shockwave follow-up is gigantic. Just catches everyone. And nobody has summoners. Gio still doesn't have his. It's just the perfect situation for HLE's comp once again. Kind of beating a dead horse at this point, but you guys get it. Gio now left alone to, well, who's going to get the kill? It will be Peanut. For this fight, Lahen's, yeah, well, buttons.
It's crazy that, like, I mean this sincerely, as Peanut,
he's got a little bit of help here from Zeka, and there's the Shockwave. It's not going to do anything to Gideon, but it does keep them at bay.
As this is a Baron that Nongshim knows happening but can't physically see, and so they have to kind of come over here. Gideon does not have flash, so I don't.
Gideon is the one guy that they are worried about, and now he's just kind of out of the picture. Lens nearly dies, actually, to the burn, saved by Redemption. I mean, Nongshim are down 10,000 gold at this point, so maybe not Teemo in this one. I think he would have had a really tough time in the lane, but still. Gonna get the Feather Storm out, and immediately the rest of the team is there to follow up. Zeus will go down, but it will not quite matter. Kingdom in the back line, but the wallets are just way too heavy at this point. And even making it kind of a close fight, given the gold lead. Nice job by Nongshim, but this game has been over for quite a while.
It's really funny how you mentioned Viper playing this pick, and then, like, at that moment he was probably, no, Battles are pretty good with they're pressing the R on this one.
Yeah, I like the Xayah.
I do like the Xayah angle. He does ultimately die, but man, he absorbed a lot there, and the rest of his team cleaned up. At the end of the day, Hanwha Life Esports, maybe with a rocky early game, there's some issues in the side lanes, but with the 10,000 plus gold lead, do clean it out.
Because we have to peel off, and then like we have to go for the turn, but then they got kind of like surprised by Zeus's flank angle. I'm not really sure, but whatever the situation, it just really did not end up very well, and that's why we had this insane ballooning of gold that went to HL.
Feel good luck.
You know?
Yeah, they're just gonna play Cassante.
Yeah.
I do think that the draft for Nongshim is stronger. Yeah, I think it has a lot more synergy. It has tons of pressure with the Jace inside. You have Sivir's wave clear, and you can show up to fight anybody at any time. Like, if Hanwha Life Esports are rotating over with Nico Jarvan to try to get a pick on Jace, and Hanwha see that, they just ult the other side of the map and kill whoever's there and get the turret. So if played perfectly macro-wise, I think there's way more potential in Nongshim Red Force's comp.
I am scared for Nongshim. We'll see if they can handle it here in game number 2. Wow. Calling him out. Oh, love that taunt. Pulls him back in. Peanut is still going to flash and is still going to die, giving the first blood over to Kingen.
That is massive.
No passive proc on a Gio at least, but I am curious as to how that happens.
I think it's just heal advantage for Delight. Allows him to close the gap there.
He's got to throw it really far in the air. No stun here from Zeka. The rocks weren't on the ground, so he just knocks him back. Maybe
Peanut is the winner of that. That's a big win here for Hanwha Life Esports. No one going to come over and even peek at this dragon.
Dean's even taking the red.
I don't know if Peanut can be here.
He agrees, actually. So that's, yeah, he just flag dragged over
there.
Can he be here, though? I don't know. And totally just disrespecting the potential vision. Peanut will get punished.
Actually, kind of a low-value play there from Nongshim.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're quite in the right spot. Now we got the root coming down and the Kaisa to join, and the Talia on top. Lahen's no flash, used it in the kill on the Peanut. And a nice setup here from Delight.
Didn't have any control whatsoever.
All right.
Back up.
Trying to get in there. Gonna get the flash out of Zeka. It's a win, technically.
But they certainly want to try to make a play, and now with Lahen's aggressively posturing, maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, Gio might be in a bit of trouble here, and this is the thing about the Jarvan. You have to flash it if you're Sivir.
Oh, Delight does have flash ult, but there's just no follow-up here. They will get away with this. They will get the Dragon. It's hard for Zeka to take the right engage angle here with his Weaver's Wall. It's a really challenging problem he's going to have to try to solve here, and I don't know if that's quite it. Will cut off some of the Nongshim members temporarily.
We had a TP coming in, HLE committing to this one. The taunt comes down and Peanut can't do anything. He just kind of dies as the engage is decent, but it's still looking good for Nongshim until Viper gets into that backline, assassinates two, but now he's getting pretty low, and Nongshim, the rest of the team is just so healthy. Calyx frontlining on this rise. Maybe he gets punished by Zeus a little bit, but no, Zeus gonna get baited on in, and GU untouched the entire fight, will be able to help the double kill go the way of Kingen. They go for it, and ultimately it ends up being pretty good for Nongshim. As everybody grouping down on the bottom side, Nongshim TPing into this one, but the Cataclysm comes down and Kingen's just dead. And now we got a TP coming in here, but Calyx not able to do much, has to back away. Paranoia already used.
Yeah, that's not the side lane champion I'd be paranoiaing into.
He's just kind of running into the enemy team. He's going to go down. Could have ran south with Calyx. Instead, he decided not to.
Calyx also probably going to have a problem getting out here against this.
What did they mean by this, Wolf? I want you to break it down. There's no play-by-play here. It's just 3 people individually dying for Nongshim.
I mean, they're going to get maybe an inner on the commitment there from Hanwha. And Hanwha actually have no turrets this game, so you can see it taking a while to get that one. This is not going to be a back-breaking win for Hanwha, but definitely shrinks the deficit. It's better into a squishier champ. Oh, man.
Lehens.
Lehens, man, he was once a not-licensed haver, but he is, in fact, like, now going to be in the LCK F1.
Yeah.
Come on, like, let's not waste it.
Just run there.
Gideon's in,
this keeps happening. Gideon just kind of getting caught out. We do have the Paranoia, but that's another kill going over to Viper, and he's looking for number 2. Not quite going to get it. Oh, now he's going in, gets the kill, flashes away, and immediately dies. Gideon is there for at least the alley-oop kill, but it looked cool. Spirit of Jackie Love.
Yeah, Jackie Love would have gone for it. Delight.
Yeah, okay, they're going for the engage, but this looks pretty good for Nongshim, although Cassante does exist. Trying to take down Zeka, and not quite able to, actually. They do get Delight, but that's just the support. Zeus does pick up a kill and effectively gets away, so bit of a trade of kills there.
But, I mean, Delight does not have Unsealed, and they are just simply going to give this up. But, like, if they tried to play towards pushing the Talia, maybe look for a Baron. And, in fact, because of these split backs here, there is kind of a timing.
Yeah, they're just going to go in on the Delight. I think he just dies. Very unfortunate for him there. Zeus also going to TP into this one. Giant Shock Blast going to hit Viper. The wall's coming in as Helmaleif say, we are committed.
Go straight to Baron.
And Nongshim will take a big win after that. There's no way they're going to take
They have to turn
3v5, right? That's the knockback, though. In they go. They burst down one, essentially, as the shield is huge, though, and in goes Viper. Immediately going to cleanse, trying to do this 1v5. And eventually, Calyx just is going to take him down. That's the end of that. Zeka, though, doing a lot of damage. I think they still get the Baron here, though, as there you have it. Smoked down by Gideon.
You know, quite a bit. Meteos, Peanut, that...
We didn't talk to Peanut too much.
We didn't talk to Peanut that much. He was unfortunately sent home early. But Hanwha Esports are going to try to wrap around and take a mid-outer in return. But remember, this is a global comp here for Nongshim, so just don't make any mistakes in the interim.
Don't
make any mistakes in the interim.
Gio, he doesn't have his shield, and they're going to get away just barely, but man, that's very scary. Barrier and flash used by 2 of the members of Nongshim. Yep. Just kind of priced into this one at this point. Nongshim have to go for it as everything is looking at the backline, but the smite comes in, and Calyx goes in by himself, but it's actually a genius move as it distracts them. Delight's going to go down. Calyx in a bit of trouble here, perhaps, but he just flashes away. In go Viper and his top laner doing a ton of damage here. Gideon goes down. Nobody can get on top of Viper until this very moment. Gio might just be able to do it as Viper goes invisible, but it's not quite enough. And Zeus, even with the Chemtech Soul, is not going to survive at the very end.
And that play actually baits them. They go in with Paranoia at the same time. It's so hard to pick off that rise, and Hanwha get cut off by a Realm War flank as Delight looks to try to defend.
Yeah, just trying to clear the wave with that ult. Looks a little bit silly, but that's what they got to do. They're tanking up the turret. They don't have a wave. They're all super low. I don't know about this one, Nongshim. Oh, she was so close to losing his GA too. And now we got Zeka on the respawn, looking for anyone. Looks like he's gonna go to the top side here, but oh no, not the disengage cones. Gonna save them just barely.
They could have just gone for Baron, but they go for the end.
Maybe start Baron, not HLE.
Yeah, HLE definitely can, because Nongshim might have to back. They're so low. No TP on King and no Calyx TP, no Realm Orb. The Hanwha Life Esports don't have a ton of vision here. That the control ward is so frustrating, but now they can just Bloom Scry it, or Scry Bloom it rather, and go over and start taking this. I think the turn is really strong for them. They still have Cataclysm here. Zeus is just going to be able to hold the door. He's on the edge, and Hanwha Life with the turnaround.
Look at Calyx. He's running mid. He wants to Realm Orb. He's pinging it. He wants to Realm Orb in.
They only have 2 minions here.
I mean, if they get in there, you know, it's going to be huge. The rest of the team just trying to stop them from backing, and successful for now. The Realm Orb's coming in, and now TP's utilized. I think they might be a little bit too late, but let's see. The Cataclysm comes down. They just got to hit the Nexus, but the double stun comes in from Zeka, and the damage is not there for Nongshim. HLE clean it up, and they stop the gambit from Nongshim.
I just don't think this was the right call in any scenario. You lost, really, you messed up when you went for the end instead of the Baron. Trying to stop those backs against Baron-empowered recalls with the comp here from Hanwha Life. This is just not going to work. They don't have ways to stop the TP. And, I mean, I get the idea behind this. If they had a huge wave, maybe. But instead, they just get stopped. And Hanwha Life Esports will win the game in the end off of some really questionable decision-making here from Nongshim.
It was so close to Wolf. The Nexus was like half health. Oh, man.
That's a tragic loss.
It's a couple of games in a row where I felt like Nongshim were in a very good spot, and they just couldn't get it done. As Zane goes Gideon, might be able to take out the... Nope, he's not going to be able to. That's going to do it, guys. HLE, they get the victory from the jaws of defeat. Just at the very, very end, as Nongshim go for a very tight play. It nearly works out.
How you could have gone Baron and then slowly, of course, they would just end the game right afterwards. I think the bigger mistake was deciding not to just take Baron with their insane Sivir Rise comp and push to the win.
You can see the goal difference graph just falling off a literal cliff there, just into the pit that is Hanwha Life Esports' victory at the very end, 2-0 in a much longer game, 38 minutes. He is going to pick up the player of the match. As you mentioned, I think it should be pretty split. Like game 1, we shouldn't forget about that, especially because that was a more dominant victory with more flashy performances from the players on the side of HLE.
Yeah, I mean, you could have gone, I think, with like 4 different votes. I think Viper and Delight were the most consistent.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Steer for the POM interview translation, joined by Viper on the side of Hanwha Life Esports. With that 2-0, you're now qualified for the playoffs. How do you feel? Well, first of all, I think we had a bit of a dangerous moment, but I'm really glad that we're able to close it out with the victory. I feel like there are a lot of things that we need to improve on, so we need to be considerate of all the room for improvement. And against Nongshim, you now have a 13 winning streak, and today was a clean 2-0 victory, so was it as expected? You know, not too long ago. No, we did win against them, so I believe that we were able to win again yet today. And you got POM for all the round 3 victories, and some believe that it's a tough meta for AD carries to shine. So, what do you think? Yeah, I do agree. But since it's a fearless format, I feel like there are a lot of moments where I can actually shine. So I think it's just, it really does depend. So if you were personally able to pick a POM in your team today, who would you give it to? Personally, I think Zeka did a really good job. I feel like he performed really well today, so I would give it to Zeka. And then in game 1, the new champion, Yunara, made her first LCK appearance. And even from early game, the enemy Yunara was scaling pretty well. And you targeted her down very well. So how was playing against her on stage? I think the more she gets a good item, she becomes a very strong champion. And alongside a utility support, she is able to scale very well and stably. So I think that's what's really good about Yunara. And game 2 was getting pretty dicey. And the enemy was pushing your Nexus at one point. So how did it make you feel? Yeah, after dying at the Dragon team fight, we thought, oh my gosh, it's doomed. But I think we were able to come back pretty well, so I'm just really relieved. So what allowed you to defend your base? Well, I guess we do have a lot of CC in our comp. I think the enemy comp didn't allow to push as fast as they can. And you got your first win of round 4, and T1's actually right behind you at 3rd place, and you will continue meeting the same 4 teams. So what do you think of the current format dividing the teams in groups? You know, I haven't really particularly thought about it, but because we keep on meeting strong teams, it really depends on how we perform in each of our matches. I think we just have to keep on just maintaining a good form. And for the rest of the LCK regular season, what approach will you have? I feel like we have been losing to T1, so I want to make sure that we get our revenge against T1, and we'll be very well prepared for that one. And your next opponent will be KT Rolster, so would you like to say anything to your fans? Now for the next match, I hope that we are able to win without too much anxiety-inducing moments for the fans. And that's the end of the interview with Viper, and back to the space. Congratulations again, and thank you!